Welcome, everybody. Come on in. We got a few things to talk about as a family. Hope everybody had a good week. Everybody's doing well. We have some reformatting that we're going to be doing to the group and also to this call as well. So for those, and I'll repeat it throughout the call today. So just kind of to get started, we're going to be doing this call every other week versus every week to kind of give everybody a break and give their Saturday back to them. So we're going to do it today, but then we won't meet again for 2 weeks. So every other week we'll have this call instead of every single week. Kind of give everybody a break so they can do whatever they need to do on their Saturday instead of being on the call for 2 hours. And it's still only going to be for 2 hours. So I'm Eastern Standard Time, so it's going to be from 1 to 3 every single Saturday. But it's every other Saturday, not every week going forward. We're gonna knock it down a little bit, give everybody a little bit of a break. We've been going hard in the paint for a little while, so got to give yourself some breathing room. Also, some housekeeping rules. I made some changes to the affiliated groups that we have. We're not going to be doing individual state groups. So if you're a leader in that group, please DM me. If you have your state group, please DM me so I can give you the link to the region group. We're going to do it by regions, which is only about 5, 6, or 7, about 7 groups. So all the different regions, you got Northeast, West region, Southeast, Southwest, Northwest, you have Midwest, and then you have international. So we're just going to have 7 groups that we're going to manage for Recoupers that's going to be affiliated with us. We're a large family. We're at 9,477 members. Not all are active, but we still want to make sure that, because sometimes people want to be in multiple groups as well. So I thought it would be beneficial if we just streamline the process and give us region study buddy groups. So we no longer are affiliated with any of the individual groups. And if you are a leader in any of the individual groups, or if you know the leader in those groups, please have them DM me directly so I can give them the link to the region groups, and they will be leaders in that group. So you don't lose your position as leadership because I'm streamlining it. If you want to be a part of the Recoupers affiliated group, then you can still be a leader in that group as well, because we do need leaders. The leadership team here can't do it all. And so we're all one big family. And so we just want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to lead and support and be there for each other as a community. So we're grateful for all that come and that show up. But yes, we are streamlining the study buddy group so you don't have so many different groups to go to. And like I said, I've had many, many people talk about wanting to be in multiple groups. So doing it by region, if you go to the Recoupers approved affiliated group link folder, it should be right up under the chat group that we have today. It should be the second folder at the top of the group. You'll see all the links are there. I just put them in right before I jumped on this call. So all the links should be there for you to go to the new study buddy groups for Recoupers. All the other ones we are no longer going to be affiliated with because we are streamlining the process. And if you are a leader, I know I sound like a broken record, please DM me so I can make sure that you understand how we're going to work and going forward. And I'm happy to host a leadership meeting strictly for the study buddy groups as well. So that we're going to put that out there. Other point of news is, sadly, Kim Marie has decided to step away from Recoupers as a leader, and she's still inside of the Recoupers group. We haven't removed her, and she hasn't left either, but she's no longer going to be part of the leadership team. And we wish her the best, and we thank you for all that she has done, because she has contributed so much to the Recoupers family as a leader. But she's no longer part of the leadership team, so will not be hosting or be on these calls on Saturday morning as a leader. If she decides to join the call, that's fine. But as far as her, she'll just be an attendee. But that is her decision. And like I said, we love her. We appreciate her and for all that she has done for us, because she has contributed so much to us as a community, and we appreciate her. So Kim Marie has decided to step away for that. And that was another thing that prompted for us to revamp the study buddy groups, because she was hosting a lot of those things and she was managing a lot of those things. And so taking the burden away from just 1 or 2 people doing it, we're going to put it in to manage all of those separate groups. That's another reason why we decided to put it into regions. So if you go to the Recoupers approved affiliated group links, it's only about 7 of them in there. Find your group, find your state. I listed out the states too, so I made it nice and easy for people so they don't have to try to figure it out. What states go with what? And then you can go ahead and go to that group and be able to join multiple people that live in different states that live in your region. So I hope that's helpful. We're going to also revamp the formatting a little bit of this call, where we're going to be having people open up the floor more for you guys to ask your questions. We're going to get back to the basics, talk about foundational things, but we're also going to be more responsible as a community, where individually we understand that we are the captain of our own ship. We are the age of majority, and we are the ones that have to be responsible for any process that we take on and study and take ownership over that. We are a leadership team that doesn't know everything. We're learning along the way, just like you are learning. So please don't look at us as if we have the answers to your situation, because we don't. We are still trying to figure out our own situation as well. It's all experimental, where we hear about a process and we have shared it in the past. We're going to slow down on sharing any new processes and just allow us to get back to the basics. And so today's call is going to be more questions and answers. You guys are going to be able to raise your hands and open up the mic and ask your questions. And if we have an answer, we'll answer. And if we don't know, we'll say, don't know. So it's going to be more interactive going forward. And I just wanted to put that out there so people know kind of how we're going to be doing these calls, these live calls on Saturday, which are going to be bi-weekly again. And they're not going to be every Saturday. They're going to be every other Saturday. So people have a time to be able to be with their family, do what they need to do on the weekends, take a break from the work week, all the things, and come back the following week. So it'll be every other week we'll be on this call. So you're free to raise your hand right now. If you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, please feel free to raise your hand and someone will unmute you if you're not able to unmute yourself and ask your question. And I hope everybody had a great week. And so I'm just grateful to be a part of this community. And that's my TED Talk for today. Who's next? Who's up? Who wants to chat next? Anybody want to give any thoughts or comments or the gratitude? Anybody? Marte?
Yes, love and light, Dr. Helder. I like to give my gratitude to God and the Palladian and Arterian Council, to you and your administration, to uh, Kim Marie. You know, I'm so thankful and blessed, you know, to be on this earth at this time and meet so many loving, heartfelt individuals, human beings, you know. And the question that I had was on Iris. I was trying to do my A's and B's, and they said that I needed a 5 digit number that I had to apply for, and it would take 45 days to receive it. So, is there another way that I could put my A's and B's where it shows up on my transcript?
No, Iris is the IRS process. Am I echoing?
Yeah.
Hold up. I got this speaker on. Okay, excuse me.
Okay, is that okay? That's better.
Dr. Helder?
Yes, I'm here, sir. I can hear you.
Dr. Helder?
I can hear you, baby.
Shan.
Mute yourself, honey.
I can't hear Shan.
Okay, we'll come back to Marte when he's able to get it working. But to answer his question, I'll answer it again when he gets on the call. Iris is an IRS system, and yes, you have to do the 45 days. You have to do you have to do whatever process they take in order to approve you to get access to their system. And I did mine last year, so that's why I'm able to do it. So that's the only way that you can get on to be able to do it through the Iris system. Otherwise, you have to use a third-party software, a third-party website, in order to do your 1099-A, B, and whatever you're going to be filing through them. And they take a couple days for them to get your stuff approved. But when you use Iris, you can get it approved within seconds. I just did some A's and INTs this week, and it was approved within 10 seconds, 30, 20 seconds, because I have Iris log on. And you have to do it through your ID Me and all of that. So hopefully that'll answer his question. And if anybody knows him, you can share that with him. But if he's able to come back to the mic, I'll repeat it again. So that's where we are with that. Stephen, did you want to say something?
Yeah. I want to add on to that. It's like, because he mentioned the 45-day part. So that doesn't apply to everybody, right? So they're depending upon how you go about applying for it. As part of the application, for some people, you create a 5-digit PIN, and that PIN is what is required, right? For him in particular, 45 additional days, because that doesn't apply to everybody. You won't know until you go through the process, unfortunately. So if you are fortunate, you'll create the PIN as part of the application for the Iris system, and you can have access within 2 days or 4 days, depending on how
Oh, you can
quickly
go
it
that
allows them
fast,
to
really?
update.
I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yeah, I got access within 2 days.
Oh, awesome. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, and
That's
some people, like, because this was, someone had to educate me on this. If you are able to do the 5-digit PIN and do that through the process, you don't have to wait to receive the letter in the mail, which could take like 2 weeks. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. So I went like day number 2 after I had submitted it, went, logged in, and I had access. I was like, oh my gosh. So they will not let you know until like they send you that letter saying, hey, we've already given you access. It's just, you have to go through the process and see where exactly you fit into that for them.
Yep, I will confirm. I did my 2 days later. I was able, and today is when I got my letter that I had access.
Wow, amazing. See, it doesn't have to always take as long as they're claiming, but they're probably cushioning it, saying 45 days just in case there's any hesitation or backlog or whatever. So, awesome. Can one of the leaders put the link for the chat in the actual chat room? Because I don't know, I can't do it for some reason. I was trying to copy the link and put it in there, and it wouldn't let me do it for this call.
For the live call?
Yeah, for the live call. I was trying to put it inside of the chat for someone so they can get access to this call. So just get the link and put it in there for me, please. All right. Anybody got any more thoughts, questions, comments? Unmute yourself or raise your hand so we can unmute you. It's an open live call. No questions? Oh, wait. Stardust? Stardust? Go ahead. Unmute yourself, honey. Can you hear me? Stardust, you had a raised hand. You have to unmute yourself if you have a question or comment or anybody else? If you can't unmute yourself, just raise your hand and I'll unmute you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I just wanted to add to that comment about the Iris. When you log in, if you apply for it and you are logged in and you don't have that 5 PIN, you can also click on the top. It says modify your PIN. So you can get it that way as well.
Thank you. Good to know.
Because that's the way I didn't have one. And I saw one of Walter Nutt's video, and he said to just do that. When if you didn't have the 5-digit number, to just go on the top and there's a tab that says modify PIN and you can create your own. And I yield.
Hey, so yeah, I had a question with the Irish too as well. With the soul prop, like I did the application with the soul prop. Am I able to do the A's and B's with the trust as well? Or do I have to do another application?
No, we're
No,
good.
you can do any of them. Once you're in it with a sole prop, you can go and add all the other IENs that you have.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are we able to speak randomly? I'm not sure if I have to have my name called.
You're good, Snow White. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I have to give thanks to everyone that has participated. And although that I am new, somewhat new to Recoupers, and when I learned about Recoupers, I was listening to Grandma Millie, and I got very excited, of course. Yet I'm still overwhelmed about anything of the process. So I just now learning as I come in. I heard Dr. Heather speak on the times that you all were speaking, and I'm just now learning that you all are speaking on every Saturday. So I kind of lost out on things, and I don't know if you are recording or anything like that, but I'd like to go back and listen if that is accessible. Also,
Snow White, that is. We have a folder that has all the live calls there.
okay, so again, I'm very very new. It's like I'm this newborn baby, don't know where to go, don't know what to do, don't even know where to start.
So get comfortable with using the so as you're in the main group, you'll look at every folder has a title, and you'll see one that says live video library.
Okay. Um, I'm still at odds about um basically, even where to start in this process. Um, I am just now learning that I don't know if this is still yet some things that I need to do because it's I'm actually confused. Um,
Well, let me ask you this. Let me try to see if we can get some clarity a little bit. What's your goal? Let's start with your goal. What's your goal? What are you trying to do? You came to Recoupers for what reason?
several reasons. First of all, I wanted to I guess get into finding out how to release court cases and or um refurbish a will. That was actually my mom's will, but the executor was not doing other things that was supposed to be proficient to settling all claims, and it's put my life in jeopardy of losing the things that basically my property that was willed unto me. And I've been told in the in the process that I would have to do this executive letter and find who I am, and I'm kind of clear on those things, but it's like get this birth certificate of live birth and not just a regular birth certificate. So I'm just in like this whirlwind of the Wizard of Oz or the Alice in Wonderland.
No, I get it. So here's my hug for you. So let's take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally understand why you're overwhelmed, and know that I'm hugging you right now and just telling you this in your ear, okay? Just me and you.
Yes.
It's okay. It's going to work out, and it's going to be fine. You can't do everything all at one time. You can only chew the meal one bite at a time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, you got to find out what the primary thing that you need to do, and that's where you need to focus your energy on. Now, you said there was an executor for the will. that your mom had assigned to someone else that's not you, and that person is not doing their job. And now you need to enforce them to do their job. You may have to get an attorney to do that, or since you don't understand it yourself, because it's going to take time for you to understand and comprehend the stuff and then be able to enforce it. And it sounds like you're up against a time clock, correct?
Um, I would consider it as a time clock even from the beginning. Just I just need to know what to do and be able to articulate it in a fashion that to reserve those inheritance.
Well, there is a group called Court Cases in Recouper. So the only thing that I can recommend for you, to be honest, is for
Hmm.
you to take the time to understand how to navigate through Recoupers, because there's so much information and there's so many great people in there that may have the same type of situation as you, that could help you and give you greater advice than just us on this call right now.
Right.
Because there's so much information in Recoupers, especially the folder that says court cases, that could possibly help you. I don't know if we have a probate one. I have to look.
Hmm.
And if we don't, we probably need to create one.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people talk about probate and stuff like that, but if we don't have one for probate, look at the court cases one, and look at the chat and see how people are talking. And you may, I'm sure, when I say I'm sure, there's somebody in there that's going through the same process and going through the same issue. It's
Hmm.
there. It's somewhere in here, but you got to find it. You got to take the time to dig through the folders and look at the chats. Now, it's a lot of information, but so don't try to do it all at once.
Hmm.
Find out what's the priority for you, and then you go and you try to seek after that answer and pray about it. I mean, the spirit will guide you where you need to go, but I will tell you right now that we can't answer your specific question to your specific situation on this call.
Right. I completely understand that. And now that I know what I'm hearing from you, that is in itself essentially, a great relief. And
Good.
I also, like you say, if there are court cases, then there will be cases like, I presume traffic tickets and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
but mainly what I've learned, and it's no shame to me,
No,
uh,
not at all.
that I've been studying this stuff since '07.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many amazing ways and things. There's no one particular way, but at the same time, I do truly believe, in essence, to that, I have to start with me, myself.
Yes. Agreed.
And
100%.
and one of those things is,
Put your mask on first, sis, before you try to help somebody else. Trust me.
right, right. And it would be a relief to say, I would not be as overwhelmed because now
Mm-hmm.
that I see, um, and of course I've been in contact with others. And
But you're not the only one. I want you to know that. You're not the only one that feels this way, that feels overwhelmed, doesn't know what direction to go, where to start, or anything like that. And my advice is always going to be take a breath, figure out what is the priority for you, and then dig out answers for that.
Mhm,
Because once you start with one thing, it leads to another thing. And trust me, if you try to prioritize it and put it in a list form or write it out on a sheet of paper and you're like, okay, these are the things I know I need to handle. Here's 1 through 5, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, whatever your list is going to be. And then you start to chop up the list. You start to break it down. You have to break it down in order to get understanding. You can't
yeah,
do it all
and,
at once.
yeah, and I know that part is just that the list just keep getting long.
Mine too, girl. Don't worry. We in
Um,
the same boat. We all in the same boat. So I hope that was helpful to you. And
and
so
I can say, I can say that, you can't prove anything on paper in a sense, because once you get results, you'll know the reactions of those results. If
mhm.
you're watching, what you're doing and the results of whatever you're doing, it's gonna show up, because I've seen a prime example of what we're doing. It's a true
Mm-hmm.
process, and it's not something that we're not doing. We're not doing anything fraudulent. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, we
It's
got
like,
this. We got
yeah.
this.
and I've seen the proof, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
well, if you have an officer that's set down and put behind the desk, that's the results. You know it's working.
It's all going to work out for you. So I have to cut you off, sweetheart, because we have to get to other people. But I appreciate you having the courage to come up and ask your questions. And you're not behind, you're not slow, you're not any of those things. We're here to support and love on you, and know that it's going to partner with someone that's been in Recoupers a little longer, someone that's in your state. Go to the region folders that I created. Like I said, you'll see it at the top of the group. You have to get comfortable with it. And you'll see the affiliated groups that you can find somebody within your state or within your area that can help you.
I have two pertinent questions, very short.
Girl, you got to make it quick now.
One is, how can we invite someone else into Recoupers?
Yes, it's open to the public. Yes.
Okay. And number two is, oh gosh, I almost forgot. I'll come back. I'll just come back because that's how.
Right, sweetheart. Type it in the chat. You can type it in the chat room if you're able to find the chat room. We'll also answer questions there too. Okay.
Okay, sweet.
We love you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Who's next? What's up? Who has a question? Mo. Let me allow you to speak. Moja. Unmute your mic. Let's go.
Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Hey, I want to give gratitude to everybody on this thing. I found this Recoupers, and I thought it was a fantastic community that everybody gets together and actually talks about things that are actually vital to one another's lives. I'm new to it. I don't really know how to navigate through all this stuff. I'm just looking to see how to actually get started. I have a unique situation, so I'm hoping to see if I can connect with somebody.
What state are you in?
I'm out of San Diego.
So you're in California. So if you go to the West region folder, that's in. You know what? I'm going to post all the links in the chat room as well. But if you go to the West region folder, you're going to find your tribe of people that's in your region that can probably help you navigate some of this stuff as well. But as far as like you're having a unique situation, we may not be able to solve it all on this call, but if you have a quick question, we can try to see if somebody can help you.
Yeah. So
question.
So it's, I guess it's not really that much of a question other than because I'm new here and time is limited. Where to get started from the beginning is what I'm looking to do here. I'm on a plan.
Priority? What's your priority? What's the thing that's most important to you that you need to solve? What's the problem?
So I see that all the stuff that you guys have out here, and it looks like what's tough is to actually find step one to get through.
Yeah, we don't have it, and we don't have it set up that way. But like I said, like let's say you're going through.
Step one will be your EINs.
Okay, go ahead, Jeremy.
EINs. That's step one. You got to get a trustee EIN. You want a sole property EIN. Once you get those, then you can start learning about the trust and setting up the trust. You can use the trust template, or you can use ChatGPT to print you or to get you a trust template for a revocable living trust. He does a pretty good job, whether it's male, female, AI, but ChatGPT does a real good job with that and answering your questions. Don't be afraid to get on there and use it. I think it costs $20 a month, but once you, the more you conversate with the AI, the more fluent it's going to be in conversation, right?
Right.
I use it for a lot of my stuff. Like if I want to learn about something, like say, what's the point of the CP 575? I'll ask ChatGPT and it'll give me a script to read from, and it just tells you exactly what it's for. And then you can ask questions. Well, what can I do with it when associated with the IRS or the treasurer? Basically, what kind of tool is this for me? And he'll break it down as that as well. So,
well, thank you for that. I do appreciate that. I think one of my
your EINs though.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One of my biggest challenges is that's why I kind of ask for step one. I travel every week. I have my girl with me because she's been diagnosed stage 4 brain cancer. So she's a Marine, and I have to take her everywhere with me. And time is so limited. And so it's just so easy if I can actually see that, okay, you guys are doing EINs first. And after we establish that, what else? I can surely find the resources to do what I have to do, as long as I know what order we're doing them in.
Yeah, on all that foundational work, you can just bring it back to the chat groups, find the coinciding group that goes with that information, and just go in there and ask questions. If not, you can come on the Saturday calls or the groups that we've created. I don't know how soon it'll be before they're hosting lives in their groups, but that's also another resource you can go to.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeremy. I do appreciate you, your time, and everybody else on here who are actually contributing to the betterment of everybody. Thank you, guys.
And borrow from yourself. Go to that folder inside of Recoupers, because that'll help you with the foundational stuff like your trust and things like that. If you go to, or is it that one, or is it not borrow from yourself? I apologize. It's not that one. It's the one with Holly and Kia. What's the name of that one, guys? Help me out.
Claim your credits.
Claim your credits. There you go. Go to the claim your credits folder. There's an actual guide in there. There's a V3 version 3 guide that you can put it in there. Let me see if I can find it and I can throw it in this chat as well. But I did tag all the folders, all the different region study buddy groups. I put them in the chat room that we're on today. It's in there.
Okay.
So
And
they're
so-
all in there.
Perfect. And so those are the places where I can actually ask for what I need to get done. Like Jeremy is saying, I guess EINs first. There's something I heard you guys talking about, a decedent, and then there's something else about notification. Then we move
That's
to
all
ES.
in that guide for the claim your credits. It's all in that guide. That'll tell you.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. Most appreciative.
Yep. It's called claim your credits. That'll help you set up your trust. That'll talk about non-decedent. I'll tell you who to notify as well. They give you an example of what a trust document will look like. And you can also put it in ChatGPT. ChatGPT also has a free version of it as well. Thank you, King Richard. He just posted it in the chat room, all the different multiple steps as well. So there you
Perfect.
go. You ask
Thank
and you shall receive.
Thank you much. Everybody hearing my voice, have a fantastic and blessed day, and pass that forward to the people who need it. Thank you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you. Thank you, King Richard, as well. Thank you for posting that. It looks like he said, I broke the whole thing down to a checklist. It will ask you to copy it to your folder. This is because he put it on a Google Drive, and there are little check boxes for 10 people. If you want to have your own little group or something, you can keep to each other and pace yourself. Thank you so much for putting that together, as well, that little cheat sheet that he just posted for the different forms and all of that. So that's great. Thank you. See how the community works? Just come together and help each other whenever we need to. Hopefully that'll help Snow White as well. Snow White, you should look at that as well, honey.
Yes, thank you. I heard that. I have that question now. I was interested in obtaining the book. There was a book that I think it was TY that was supposed to have been written. I was listening to the podcast or something.
I don't know who you're talking about. Who has a podcast? I don't think that's us.
I don't know if it was a podcast. It must have been a meeting then. And they were talking about a book that was basically about, how you get started in, reserving your rights and things like that.
I have no idea which book you're speaking of. But start with Claim Your Credits. Start with that. It's called the CYC process. Start with Claim Your Credits. Go there.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
All right. Thank you.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I did just unmute some people. So I saw that Feldkamp. I know I'm messing up your name, and I know you. So I'm terrible. Sorry. Feldkamp, you know who you are. You can talk. Indigenous Cherokee Indian, I unmuted you as well.
Yes. I wanted to add on to what you were saying to the I guess the beginners that's trying to find out what position they're trying to put themselves in or embark on. What I really did was I went to the Form 56 instructions that really told me the position of what I'm stepping into, a fiduciary responsibility. Read those instructions, that will help you. And the instructions to the 2848 power of attorney. Read those instructions. That will help you also while you're doing your revocable trust and you're trying to find out how you're going to lay out your family plan. Those two instructions will definitely put a light bulb in your head on who you are when you're signing those forms. say it again. Read all instructions to each form before you sign up. Have an understanding and overstanding before you do it.
That's perfect. That was great. That's awesome. The Form 56, Form 2848, he's absolutely correct. You should, everything that you learn or everything that is presented to you, you are responsible to comprehend and to understand exactly what you're doing before you actually do it. Because we are just here to help provide you the information. Tom said it to me earlier. He said, we just stand on the street and hold the sign, but we are not, and to give you a direction of where you can go, but you're still the one that has to travel that road. You're still the one that has to go that direction. So absolutely. And Dungeons, thank you for putting that out there, for saying, go to the Form 56 instruction, go to the 2848 instruction, read it, comprehend it, and then you can execute once you understand it and understand your position. Thank you for that. Beautifully said. Who's next? Who has some comments?
Hi, Heather.
Go ahead, Phil Camp. What's up?
Just real quick, I'm having a very hard time trying to find a bank that will open my trust account. Any
Bank of
tips?
America does trust. I have a trust account with Bank of America. I have multiple trust accounts with them.
Well, I can give you some advice on that. Change your certificate of trust, your trust certification. It's the wording that's in that document that they read and they say, that doesn't align with what they are supposed to be doing.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
What are they telling you? Yeah, what are they telling you?
Especially, especially since the claim your credits is, it goes into really, really deep in the trust stuff. That's a template. You must customize it, especially the certificate of trust. Some institutions will accept the wording that's in that. Ones that are aligned with the Federal Reserve Bank in particular will reject anything that looks like it says sovereign on it. So be aware, because sovereigns don't fit into the federated system. They're above it, so they can't comply within it. That doesn't have anything to do with what your trust indenture agreement says. That's a certification to convey to them that is a lawful trust. Okay, that's the only communication they have to evaluate it. So the language contained within that certification is vital.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, who's next? No more questions? We're done for today? No more comments?
Oh, they got questions. They're just
being shy.
Not certain of how to ask it.
Come on, y'all. Unmute yourself or raise your hand. Oh, wait, we have some people. Let me help. Unmute. Okay. Veronica unmuted you. Red unmuted you. Nils Ruin.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey.
One at a time. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up this 56 fiduciary. So, because I'm outside US, so I decided I will find a trustee. I have found one. Still have not talked to her, but then she have to file. I guess 56 and power of attorney, and she becoming a trustee of the revocable trust. Is it some downside or good side on that?
Wait, so you're asking that if you have a trustee or a power of attorney that's outside of the United States, or you're saying that you're outside of the United States and you're asking?
I am outside the United States, so I have found together with my friend we are doing together. So she know a family in USA. So I have to teach her. I mean, she is a businesswoman, so I hope she's. So then, what kind of instruction, or should I give her limited power attorney, or what kind of what is the best solution?
Well, only you can decide how much power of attorney you want to give her. It could be limited based on, well, mute yourself because you have a lot of background nails. Mute so I can answer you. Okay, there you go, sweetie. Thank you. Only you can decide how much power of attorney or access you want to give her to your estate and the things that she's going to be doing for you. It could be limited to per situation. So that's something you have to think about and decide on how much information, how much access you're going to give this person. So that we can't answer that for you, sweetheart. Unfortunately, that's something you're going to have to decide. And however you do it, make sure it's in your paperwork that it's written in there the limited amount of power that you give this person. So that's totally up to you.
Yeah. So so let's see. She opened a bank account on my behalf for trust. So then she will be the manager of actually the bank account, the money transfers, and also she have to send like the 1040 and 1041 EB because I cannot do that from Norway. I have to be in a green card.
So you're talking about for her to do on your behalf with the IRS and also with the banks and stuff like that. So are you hesitant because you don't trust this person? I'm not clear.
I have to educate her. So maybe she have to be in part of the group or what is
You can invite her over. The group is public. So yeah, you can invite her over. Feel free to. Yeah. You're good. And we also have an international recoupers group.
I am part of that, but there's like nobody there.
Well, no, I just created the new one. So the one that you are a part of is no longer affiliated with recoupers, but there's a new one that I just posted today. So
there's a new one. Where to find that one?
If you look in the chat in the chat today, it's in there.
In general or which chat?
The regular chat that we're talking today. It says chat recoupers live session. If you look in there, scroll up, you'll see one for international. You should see one there.
South study group. Let's see.
It's in the chat. Okay.
Okay, I'm looking.
Thank you for your question. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Go ahead, honey. Go, Veronica. Hey, girl.
Hi, Dr. Heather. Thank you for being here. And thank you for everyone who's given us some answers. I'm so excited to be here. Full of gratitude for you. Two questions for me. I'm fairly new, the last 6 months or so in this process. And I think one of the biggest challenges for me has been the vocabulary because it's not what we've been taught, right? The definitions of things mean something different. Is there somewhere I can go or a document somewhere that's
the Black Laws Dictionary
with vocabulary? Yes.
Have you used that? The Black Laws Dictionary?
Black Laws Dictionary. Thank you. Okay, I will look into that.
And ChatGPT will tell you too. Just tell them, you could type in the chat, say, hey, what does this mean according to law? Literally talk to chat the way you're talking to me.
According to law. Okay.
Black law.
And we're talking about the Black Law, right?
Yeah, you could do that in ChatGPT is what I'm saying. You can go there as well and type it in and it'll give you definitions.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. And then the other one, I know a few weeks back, thank you for answering that. A few weeks back, we had a class on the 1099 process. And I wasn't prepared. I didn't know I had to have an EIN, sole proprietor, and all of that. So I got that taken care of. My question is, are you aware of any class that may be coming up where they can help us through that process again? Or was there something that was recorded that can guide me through it? I've been looking through all the videos and.
Do you know which day it was? Do you know the date?
Because this is about 3. Well, this is where we went in, in a private, and you guys helped one-on-one.
That's Kim Marie's stuff. You have to contact her.
Gotcha. Okay. I will reach out. I need some help on going through the process because I'm so scared of making a mistake. So
no, don't be scared, child. 1099s and all that other stuff is pretty straightforward. Read the instructions. Regardless of somebody walking you through it, you must read the instructions as well.
Yes.
Because their interpretation is one way and yours may be another. So read the instructions. We also have a 1099 topic folder that you can find lots of information on as well.
Okay, yeah, my understanding, I did the ES, the Vs, the 888, and the X, the 1040Xs.
Mhm.
But that's where I stopped, and I wasn't sure how to move forward because we haven't received anything yet. They're not showing up on the credits. So my understanding is the 1099 process is the next that I need to go through. And so I'm trying to go one step at a time so I understand the process and the linguistics and the forms um and so that's what I need to do next. That's where I'm taking one bite at a time. So
Right, I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's would be my advice to you.
Okay. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, sweetie. Have a good one.
You too.
Who's next? Who's next with your question or your comment?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Hello?
we're good. How are you? Go ahead, sweetie.
Hey, first off, I appreciate everybody, the admins, looking out for everybody that actually, has questions. And, everybody knows that something's going on in everybody's life. So, there's no, there's nothing but cushion, love and soft feelings right now. And everybody has like empathy and sympathy and apathy for everybody in here. So that's what I like about this group. And I appreciate everybody, being here. And man, I don't even know where to start. All right. So beforehand, I was on this whole journey of operating in the private sector. And then I was, guided to RECOUPERS. And I'm just going to make this quick. So the blue card person, can your blue card person be under multiple trusts, or it has to be assigned to only one trust? Just a question.
Do you mean as a beneficiary?
Yes. If I could go into deeper, just a little bit deeper detail, I had, I'm trying to, operate on the private side, and however it was explained to me, I can go deeper into that just a little bit later. I don't want to take up anybody else's time, but I got 3 EINs, one for the estate, one for the individual private banker, and I got one for a grantor trust. So pretty much, those have, been acquired. Now, when I heard about you need a sole prop EIN, that just to ask, those are different from any other one of those, right? The state, the private banker, and the other EIN for the trust. Just asking. So if I do need to go ahead and get a sole prop EIN to go ahead and complete the blue card person. And I think this is where my crossroad is at. I'm sorry to make this question so difficult. So whenever I was introduced to this, and then I went through the whole claim your credits, and before I finished, doing the whole layout of the irrevocable trust and everything else, I was like, wait a minute, my blue card person, I is underneath the other trust. So can I have it over there in the revocable trust as well? And
Yeah.
I'm probably, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Any single entity can be the beneficiary of every trust on the planet at the same time. To help clarify that one, right? Because a beneficiary regardless of who they're benefiting from. So I hope that one answers
I'm
your
sorry.
question.
I'm sorry. I
You're
think 2
good.
people were speaking at the same time. Or
No,
somebody's
someone's got their
mic
mic
was
open
open.
and has their speakers on. I just muted him. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
L. White, I muted you because I think you had a question. I'm going to unmute you as soon as I can find you again. All right, L. White, you can unmute and speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, how are you? Thank you, Stephen,
You're welcome.
Dr. Heather, and all these inspiring people who.
Wait a minute. Pause for a second, Out White. Did we answer your other gentleman's question?
Yeah, he was wondering if he could, if a person could be a beneficiary of multiple trusts.
Okay, cool. We can go to the next person.
Okay, can I continue now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you. Go
Hello?
ahead.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Please let me know.
Yeah, we can hear you, man. It's you got feedback going on with your speaker. That's all.
Hello, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Maybe he needs to go out and come back in.
I think he's just using external speakers, so he's getting feedback and it's canceling his audio out as he's trying to
Okay.
use it.
All right. Well, next time he talks, I won't interrupt him. I'll just let him just flow so he can get his question out. Okay. Who's next?
I have a question for Stephen.
Shoot.
Who's this?
When you're indicating sovereign in any of your I can say, you want me to wait?
No, you're good. I muted him. It's just some feedback.
You were talking about when you were speaking to the young man. I think his name was Mo GA. But anyway, you were speaking on the verbiages in the documents for the bank and using the word sovereign. Does that apply to even when you're doing a proclamation, declaration, or executive letter, or any documents when you're pretty much dealing with the government?
It depends on what particular office you're trying to interact with. Just need to be cognizant of the separation between the sovereign individuals, living souls that are put here on this planet, which got together and gave authority to create a republic, which they edified the rights of these sovereigns in the Constitution, that our rights descended from God. We allowed that authority to coalesce into a governing body called the Republic. Specific entities decided to hijack that system, created a federated corporation known as the United States Corporation, which most of the federal agencies were falling under. Currently, there's stuff you can catch media about it all day, every day, basically at this point, about the correction of that, which happened very, very long time ago. So, but when you are dealing with entities such as a bank, they are a member of the Federal Reserve System, which is a private banking system owned by the City of London, which is owned by the Crown of England, right? So they do not want anything to do with sovereignty. They want people who will do as they're told, put your head down, get back to work. We want to extract your life essence from you. Sovereigns don't do that. So those two things are at odds with each other. Now, the trusts we create are within the federal system, and they are managed by an executrix, executor, or a trustee, and those can be sovereigns. And the best way to put them on notice is your non-decedent packet to say, no, I am not some dead entity that is here for your advantage. I am a living, breathing soul walking upon this earth. So you put them on notice, which is required in law to put them on notice. In your indenture agreements or your estates, those are, well, estates are more public. Trusts are private. What you have inside of it is private. That should only be shared with those who you like are very, very sure that they're not going to take your life. And I don't mean that as a joke. I mean, very serious. So any documentation you provide to an outside entity, especially a financial institution or a federal agency, you need to have conforming verbiage that they accept, right? Because this is the crossover between trust law and contract law. So those languages must align in order for you to utilize their services to the full extent as applicable. And I chose my words very carefully there. And if words were used, this is not just for you, but for anyone listening now or in the future, if any of the words I use, you're not understanding the sequence I put them in, there's much more reading and comprehension that you need to gain. All right. That's why there's so much information in this group. People are like, where do I start? Start where you are. And as Dr. Heather pointed out, you're working towards a goal. But for that, you need to know where you're at. That's from your starting point, the information that you need to learn to build your education, the foundation that you will build your legacy upon. Without a foundation, it doesn't matter what you try and build, it's going to fall apart. Sometime it will fall apart. So need that educational foundation that's built upon all the different types of law, right? Because trust law is very, very critical and high. A properly educated trustee can direct the IRS to do their job appropriately. Because the IRS likes to, FAFO. Most people don't like to mess around with them. Trustees can direct them and put them back in their place. But to get to that point, you need to know what you can do. You're only going to know that by having your foundation. Does that help answer your question?
Definitely, it's a mouthful, and it's ironic that you mentioned a couple of things. That's what I was saying to Dr. Heller, that you I'm actually trying to be very, very explicitly careful in the verbiage, because I have learned that this is it's a very sensitive subject when you're dealing with the entities in the corporation. So yes, you answered some serious questions. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I can go next if you want me to. This is Jovan. How are you all doing?
Doing good, Jovan. How you doing?
I am blessed, and happy Saturday to all my Recoupers family. And thank you all for opening up for questions. I'll just have a quick one. Okay. When I did the ESV process, but that was back in October. So I tracked the package, of course, I sent it certified, but I never received a green card back. Would it be safe to say to restart and do everything all over again, send them a new packet? Or how would you guys advise to proceed with that? Because I don't want to get, you know, I want to avoid any frivolous filings, anything like that, because I don't want them to see it as I'm trying to double dip or anything. But like I said, I haven't received anything back from them, from the IRS when it concerns that packet. But I did see that they did receive it.
Okay, so you just haven't got the signature return receipt, right?
Yes, yes, uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you don't have to wait for them to respond to you in your situation. Not that it applies to everybody in your situation, because they've received it. Like you don't have the evidence of them signing for it, like who is a signature agent, but you know it has been delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So you can proceed with your filing. Most likely, they will make adjustment to it. Most likely, which
Okay.
is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're building a
Mm-hmm.
paper trail, and so many people, they've listened to lives in the past, they try it, they hit the roadblock, they give up, everything's a cataclysm, the world just ended 5 times over. But building paper trails, documented receipts, this is commercial law, contract law. If you submit an offer to contract and they don't reject you, and they don't return what you sent them, that can be construed as an acceptance of contract. Right? So
Okay.
if they've accepted your contract, that means that you're owed the credits. Yes?
Absolutely.
Right? So if you've got your receipts, you have a basis of claim. So save your receipts. Don't assume the worst of everything, but you don't need to wait because you've already got confirmation it's been delivered. We don't know who signed for it, but they got it. They didn't say anything about it. They didn't return it back to you. Sounds like they accepted your contract.
Yes. Okay.
So
Great.
you got a basis. And the person that's best positioned to enforce the contract, crazy, is a trustee.
All right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So right. So your question brings into focus a lot of things that we've said in the past. They have to build upon themselves. But first, you have to start the first step. Send in your documents. Let them accept them. Let them reject them. Make sure you have your receipts.
All right. Well, I sure appreciate that. Thank you so much. And that is confirmation of what I thought. I just wanted to be sure before I moved any further ahead in the process. So it's now time to hit them with an A and two B's. Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help, as always.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you for your questions. I'm sure it will help many people.
Yes, 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 definitely. Thank you.
Is it okay if I go next?
Yes, girl, go ahead. Hey.
Hi there. Actually, Jovan, that your one of your questions answered one of my questions, but also, first of all, thank you, everyone, Dr. Heather, and actually Stephen. This is your answers for many of the other questions have been really informative. I appreciate so much being here. Sorry, I'm a little nervous because I've been actually for the last 3 or 4 weeks trying to uh, drum up the courage to speak. I have a few just these questions that I have is basically on the tax return. A little background. So I'm new to this, but I did go over the ES and V process. I listened to the 9-hour video call. I listened to one other 9-hour call. I sent in my ES and Vs. It was delivered. I think I made 2 mistakes. I didn't send a green card receipt with it because I was told that the certified mail is basically the same thing. So that's one thing. But the second mistake I made, because I heard it in after on another call, I wrote, actually I don't remember what I wrote, if it was, the important tax document enclosed. I'm not sure if I wrote documents plural, which I think I learned after I sent it. It was a no-no. Anyway, that being said, I know that my ES and V were delivered. I have the tracking for that. I am now, so you, Dr. Heather, you asked what my immediate goal is. I have two things. It's basically to finish my 2024 tax return. And I'm having a little bit of, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly, that the ES is an income as well as a tax payment and as well as a deduction. So an income on the Schedule 1 ES, and it is a tax payment on Schedule A, line 6, as a tax paid. And then it is also as an itemized deduction. Is that correct?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First, thank you for getting the courage to speak. Don't ever feel like you can't, because we love for you to come up and answer your questions. And so thank you for finding the courage today to do that. So I want to acknowledge that. That's number one. Number two, the ESMVs was Kim Marie's process. She was the expert in the room for that. And since she's no longer part of the leadership team, I can't answer that directly, but I can tell you what I've heard. And then you can do what you will with that. So, because I'm not responsible for that. You could actually send her a DM and ask her directly to see if she'll or go to see if you can ask her that question regarding the ESMVs. But I would say that your ESMVs will go on, it's an estimated tax payment. So on it's in 25, on the second page of the 1040 tax return, it talks about estimated payments. That's where you will put that amount on there. And that's how you can so say it was 250,000, which most people have used. You put that 250,000 on that particular pay line in your tax return. As far as Schedule 1 and Schedule A, I'm not familiar with that off the top of my head, so I can't answer that for you. I would just admonish you to go back through the instructions for the 1040 for Schedule 1 and Schedule A, and hopefully that can give you a little bit more guidance on that. And also ask ChatGPT. Say, hey, I have an estimated payment. I want to put that on my 1040. Where do I put it? And ChatGPT will tell you. And we are not getting paid to promote ChatGPT, but I'm just telling you, I use it a lot. So it's just my own personal advice on that.
That's awesome. Can I ask just two other?
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
So,
Well, real quick first.
Wait,
I want to add a comment
response
onto it. Yeah, so what you described sounds like a blend of the ES and V and documenting an OID. I do not recommend doing that because you're leaving off the actual OID part. That is a separate, similar process, right? You can find comments on it in the chat, but that one kind of goes like it's a similar process to the ABB, which is not exactly the ES and V process, right?
Yes, I agree, and I'm because I heard it elsewhere. But does that is not putting the ES as income give a red flag that, well, where did you ever even get that amount of money to pay an estimated?
Right. That's why I said what I said about the OID, right? Because you can't declare that type of income without it being reported on a 1099, right? Because otherwise it'd be on a W-2. If it's not income on a W-2, it's on a 1099. So the ES and V documented values, please don't include it as an income unless it is paired with a 1099, right? Because you have to declare that came from somewhere, even if it's from yourself to yourself, and you owe yourself that same money, which that's on an OID or some other 1099.
Right? So then, Stephen, you're saying that 1099 will be the one you put on the actual tax return then, on line 25B.
There was a video on the 1040 chat, no, not, the group, and he said to put the 1040 ES or a 1099 on the income line for in Schedule 1 to declare it as income, the 1040 ES. Maybe I was misunderstanding what he was saying.
Yeah, I think that's a misinterpretation. Yeah, so if you are doing a 1099 OID, that would be reported on 25B of the 1040 form. Now, notice I said if, right? I'm not providing you advice. I'm just saying if you did it, that's where you would document it.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
don't blend processes because you might miss very critical steps.
Okay. I understand, and good advice. So in terms of just doing my tax return, then just report the 1040 ES as an estimated payment and
Correct.
leave it at that.
Correct. Because that's what that form is specifically for.
Okay. And so because my ESs that my ESs have not shown up on my transcript yet, would you advise if I do submit my 1040 return, do I just include copies of the ESs that I had submitted to show the ES and Vs to show the payment proof?
No, you don't need to do that one. Not with the 1040. Like if they make modifications and send you some other CP letter, at that point, yes, you would to rebut their communication.
Got it.
But not initially, because you've already submitted them. They already have them somewhere.
Yes.
They have them.
Okay, good. And the last question, I apologize for taking so long. So I am part of, my husband and I, we are in a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I've been trying to learn all of this for a long time, and we just kept getting deeper in trouble not only because there were many reasons, but part of it is that my husband is not fully awake yet. He actually is not only the this side of knowing things. He keeps doing trying to follow the rules. So this is the first time I finally convinced him that can I please do a separate, file separately our 1040s. But I'm just wondering if there's any advice about how to deal with a Chapter 11 bankruptcy from a sovereign point of view.
Yeah, you got a lot of deprogramming to work with there. That's a tough one. Not that most of us haven't been swimming in this stuff for our entire lives, but just keep doing what you're doing, showing him the things, have him read the things. That's like the easiest way to do it until something like catastrophic happens. I mean, if the bankruptcy thing isn't going to wake him up too much, but as you mentioned, he's waking up. So he's on the path. Just keep showing him. I mean, AI has access to an unimaginable amount of information. So it can, when you ask it the correct question, give you extremely insightful responses. You have to use your discernment to make sure that sometimes it messes up just like we do, and it provides incorrect, accurate information. Maybe not on purpose, just like humans, but it happens. So just use discernment, just like you have to figure out someone you meet that's a stranger, if they have your best interest in mind or not, or if they're just, trying to take advantage of you, like a lot of corporations do. So just keep working at it and show him a lot of the stuff about the non-decedent from the IRS manual themselves. The IRS acknowledges non-decedents. I mean, if it wasn't a thing, why is the highest fiduciary in the land, well, not the highest, but the one over the corporation for the republic, acknowledge it?
Excellent. Thank you so much for your, and I figured, so if I just did my process of the ESN, get some kind of result there, that's more than big proof. So to at least open his eyes, So thank you so much for your guidance. I yield.
You're welcome.
We need to also go over bankruptcy does for putting you in a position as a debtor and giving away your creditor position.
Yes, I will look into that. Thank you.
Because for the most part, the earns don't belong in the bankruptcy court, because that gives them the opportunity to take the creditor position away from us and puts us in a position of the debtor willingly.
Do you think that would, if I did my 1040, filed my tax return and using the ES, is that going to, because I'm in the bankruptcy, it was going to affect my return?
What are you in bankruptcy court over? I mean, what's the bill?
It was debt, credit card debt, and I forget what is, we had too many assets to do a chapter 7, so they put us in a chapter 11, which doesn't technically wipe out, well, I don't know the wording, but it doesn't technically wipe out your debt. It just the chapter 11 is just a different kind of category, and then yeah.
It's for your protection of your property.
Correct.
So the one thing that we also do is 1099 A's and B's on all of those bills, right? So if you can show that all of those bills are being handled in the back shop with the IRS, then there wouldn't be any reason for you to be in bankruptcy court or give them right to come in and try and take any of your assets.
Okay, that's good information. So in terms of like what Dr. Heather is saying, what is my immediate goals? I need to get this tax return in. So I'm the 2024 tax return. I'm going to do that. The next process is really to go to, is it the CYC process, so that I can start learning how to take care of is that the CYC process, or is the bills, I forget, there's another process called 1522, no, shoot. I'm trying to,
The Claim Your Credits guide will get you in the ballpark of learning how to put together a trust, but you can take the information of putting the bills and doing your 1099A and your 2Bs on the bills without having set up the estate. So that's one of the things that is probably should be high on your priorities. even if you did get your tax return in for the ESs and Vs, you're still looking at their 19-week waiting period.
Yes. Okay. And I'm so sorry, just to clarify, the 1099 A and B process is still go to the CYC process? Start there?
It is interconnected.
Is
So
there a
they
separate
teach you how.
1099?
Well, we have a 1099 room that teaches you how to do the 1099 A's and B's on any of the bills that you have in order to get out of debt. I mean, that's the whole point of the Claim Your Credits, is putting you in a position to where all the credits that you can snatch them back up and they go back into your pocket instead of into the creditor's pockets. The ones who are trying to take your creditor position away from you are the ones we will be snatching those credits back into our pockets over, and they become the debtors.
Okay, awesome. I will find that process too, and I'll continue with the CYC, start off with the CYC. I already downloaded all of that information and printed it, and I will go over that next. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I yield.
Okay, can I get in there?
Go ahead, Lisa.
All right, cool. Hey, Dr. Heather and y'all. I really appreciate you guys. And Stephen, you answered like a few of them, but I'm confused. I believe I gave a little more information to with my trust than needed be. So, like I did Kaya and Holly's whole thing I went through. Okay. And I wasn't sure. I thought they said to put in, all the ones that, the certificate, the public, you know what I mean? I think I just put too much in. What do I need for just to put into the trust?
Do you mean like the certification of trust?
Yeah. Like, what does the bank actually need? Because my bank turned me down, and I have a non-bearing interest account. So that was very odd, because they were talking about, what I got back from them was something about certificates and stuff like that, and CDs. Like, I had no idea. I don't even understand it actually, but I tried to call the accountant because I just got it back. Because my girl, she's a manager, but I really don't think she knows this department when it comes to securities and stuff like that. It's a different department, because she gives me medallions, she gives me everything, she notarizes all my stuff. She does, technically, I guess she's not reading it really, but I got a lot of stuff, documentation from her. But she
Right.
actually was going to take the whole trust. I said, no, you don't need the whole trust. And I gave her what you said with that, oh God, the clarification, and a couple of other ones, like just the notarized certificate of notary public, the clarification. But that was like a good part of the trust. So
Right. So here's the essential elements for the certificate of trust.
Okay.
You need to know, or you need to identify the name of the trust. You need to identify the federal EIN of the trust, not the common law one, federal. You need to identify who is the trustee. You need to identify the date that the trust was established. You need to identify the trust type, revocable versus irrevocable versus, there's a couple other types. Those are the two main ones. You need to identify if there's multiple trustees or a secondary, backup. You need to identify the trustee powers.
What do you mean
right,
backup?
your backup, right? Because if you're the trustee, you get hit by a car, you're incapacitated for 5 years in a coma. Who's the backup?
Right, I've got a co-trustee and a successor. Yeah.
Yes, assessor. Your backup.
Yes.
All right. So
That
the co-trustee and your successor, if you
Mhm.
have one, they need to know their names.
Right. Yeah. Well, we did all that. We had the signatures, everything. They were, you
All
know,
right. And
they were
usually
there.
the issue that they have
Hmm.
is the text for the or the attestation portion of it,
Okay.
right? Because that's where the particular language falls into it. And it'd be
Okay.
most oftentimes, which is really weird, is when you have something in there that says the reference to Title 28 USC 1746. And
Uh,
that particular text that's in there is usually where they have issues
okay.
because not all of them have the exact specific quote in there. Because, like,
Got it.
I have two of them, and I have another one that I need to have notarized with different language. Because
Okay.
certain banks have issues with certain keywords. I'm
Okay.
like,
Yeah. You
I'm
was
just going
just
to
saying
avoid
that.
that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I'm just going
I
to
heard
strip
you
out
saying
all this stuff that's in the block for the perjury juror. I'm just going to remove the entire block
that. Okay.
because the text in it with all the other relevant pieces of information, you're already making a sworn affidavit,
Right.
which falls under common law and contract law and trust law.
Right. I got that. Yeah, because I had one made with the Lord Depot, and then I had, like I said, I followed Holly and Kaya's process with the trust, and the other one I really didn't. I couldn't really put that one in. I don't think that, but with Holly and Kaya's trust, I thought that was great, but again, I think I gave a little more information than they needed, and that's why they denied me it. You know. I'm not sure though, but
That happened to me too with Navy Federal. I didn't have the right documentation and they wouldn't open up a trust, but Bank of America, I was able to open up a trust account, no problem.
yeah, and I heard another one, Wells Fargo too.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. And guys, I have a foreign granted trust, EIN, and a private banker one. I'm just, do I need a special one just for the trust? Another a trust one, and the sole prop. That's another EIN that I have to get. I mean, you have to go online and go to the and do an S4 again or an S4 for the
I
sole
mean, you
prop.
don't have to go online. You can go through snail mail.
What is it? What's it?
Snail mail. You write a letter to the IRS with all the pertinent information that would be on the SS4 or fill out a proper
And you can
SS4
fax
paper
it too.
document.
You can
Or you
fax
And
can
I
it.
could
fax it. Yeah, you don't have to go through online. It's just, that takes like 5-10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and Stephen, thank you for that. With that guy, he happened to come right back on that Pounds guy that you were talking about the other day, and he after you text me in the group, he came. He was right behind me again. Like I don't know. I get them all. Same with Jeremy. Jeremy kept hitting me up, and I'm like, this ain't Jeremy. You know, I'm like, I get them all. I don't know why, but
You
I
got to
do
change your
watch.
settings. You got to change your settings, Lisa. So only people
Yeah.
that are in your contacts can contact you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I definitely, I'm private, you know what I mean? But I don't know. They just kind of get right in there and DM me, you know?
Yeah,
But I
just
don't
block
know.
them.
Just block them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. I know I had something else, but anyway,
What?
so Bank of America is a good one. And any other suggestions? Because I'm going to have to go to a different bank now.
Nope, that's all I got.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks,
All
hon.
right. And thank you so much, guys. I mean, I really, really appreciate you guys. And you have can I read a quote? I would like to read a quote for the day. Me and my mother wrote these and before she passed. And the quote for the day is, "Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut." So on that note,
Okay, I receive
I'm,
it.
okay, on that note, I'm going to yield. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Who's next? Who has their hand up? Well, there's quite a few people. Hold on. Let me see. Elaster,
Hey there,
Stardust.
beautiful family. You mind if I start?
Yep, go ahead.
It's always a pleasure to be in this group in this amazing environment. I just wanted to pop in quickly and say I took a more creative approach. I read through the material. I didn't quite comprehend what I couldn't understand because I'm Canadian, so some things weren't exactly directly relatable. I did some comparisons and I realized there's a different interesting process that I did. It's essentially a discharge through a secured promissory note or secured bill of exchange. But I'm just telling you guys, like, you can follow it to the letter of the law, or if you don't understand something, like, be creative. There's nothing wrong with using your mind. God gave you brains to use, right? So, I mean, I'm just grateful that I have brains to use and I have people to bounce ideas off. I'm not sure I'm doing everything correctly. Naturally, it's my first draw and, everything, this, that, the other. But I'm just grateful that there's a like minded group of people around and that I can share whatever I can. I just appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And Essie, there is a new group that I think you were one of the people that were asking about the international group. We have a new group. So look in the chat
Yes.
for today's chat so you can join. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next? We only have 30 more minutes, guys. So who's next? Come on up to the mic. If you're unmuted, you can unmute. Eliaster, I think you had your hand raised. Tavana, I just unmuted you. Unmute yourself and ask your question or give a comment.
Hi, thank you.
Hey, hon.
I want to say thank you all for helping. I came on to the live a little late. I do want to say I am grateful for everything that you all are doing to help us with this process. I'm a little nervous right now, but I had a
Don't be nervous,
question
hon.
regarding the ESs and the Vs.
What's up?
So I didn't do 2023, I did 2024. I do see the estimated payments on my transcript, but it wasn't refunded to me. Is that because it's supposed to be for 2025 or no?
No, did you file your tax return?
Uh-huh.
You filed your tax return with the ES&Bs on there?
Yeah, I filed my tax return. I put the estimated payment in there, and I see it on here, but it's not refunding me. It only refunded me like my regular tax return, not
Did they
the
give you a
whole
letter?
250. No, I don't
Yeah,
have
what
a
was your
letter
CP?
yet either.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Well, yeah, no, I was just going to ask, like, what was the letter that they should have sent you to identify why they made the modification?
Yeah, I didn't get a letter yet either. I just noticed this like last week. Yeah,
Oh,
I
like on
didn't
your
get a letter.
transcripts online?
Yeah, I got my transcripts in front of me from offline. Yeah.
Do they
So
have
go back
a
in there and
future
look for a
dated code?
letter.
Maybe. Because, like, when they do that, they'll, like, modify it, and you'll see it in the transcript. And usually they'll put, like, a future dated code, which will be, like, the date that they'll mail you a letter.
So it says tax return filed, then it's got some numbers under there, then it's got a code, then it's got a cycle, then it's got a date.
Yeah, is that date in the future?
The date, no, that was April the 28th.
That's 2 days from now.
Oh, I guess that is the future. And wait, today is whoops.
Yeah.
But I got some of the tax return in my bank account though. They only gave me a little piece of it. I got the tax return like on the like 2 days early, like the 24th. Well, not 2 days, but I'm thinking, I'm not including the weekend. I apologize. And it's
No,
got
it's
a
all right.
code next to it saying like under the refund. Yeah, it just gave me like 5,000, not the 250. So I just didn't know what to
But
do
you filed the
regarding that.
250 on your tax return when you did it.
And it's showing under the estimated payments. It's got it in a couple different places. So it's
Call
got
them. You need to call them, honey. You need to call the
call them.
IRS.
That's what I was thinking, to call them on Monday. Yeah, call them, because they got total payments 258, then total payments per computer, then they got refund amount, and then they got balance due overpayment using TPFIG per computer, but it's
Yeah, call them
negative.
and ask those questions to them. They should, hopefully you'll get a good rep that'll be able to explain it to you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. And I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace and love. God bless. Thank you.
You too. Who's next? We got 20 more minutes, guys. Dawn, I'm gonna unmute you.
Greetings.
Hold
This
on
is
a second.
Eliezer. Greetings.
Greetings, greetings.
Hello.
L White,
Can
go
you
ahead. We can hear you, sweetie. Now go ahead and ask your question because your mic keeps going in and out. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you all for this space to get these questions answered. Yesterday I was online and trying to determine which one of the sole props I should use. It had two positions there, one for hiring employees to work in your home, and the other one was for straight business. My question is, can I have both?
If you want to, sure.
Okay, thank you. And the next thing is the difference between 56 and the 56F.
Yeah, one
Did you
is
read the
declaration
instructions
of
for each one?
fiduciary, and the other one's for putting an entity on notice that you're going to be acting as an agent for the IRS.
Okay. And finally, the last question is, since I've been hearing a lot about the chat GPT, and I actually had some questions answered on something called Copilot.
That's similar as well. That's the same thing. It's similar.
Okay, and is that the newest one I got invited yesterday was something called Gemini. Is that similar?
I think
Yeah, they're
so.
all
I think it's
AI.
another AI. Yep.
Okay, well, I think I figured out what was causing me the bleed, and hopefully you can hear me a little bit better, and I'm not hot. Is that correct, Stephen?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, I think I figured out what that was, and I thank you again. By the way, I received um, transcripts for 2024 through 2021. That's because they hadn't, I had forgotten where my address was when I last filed. And of course, they're showing no filings. So, do I start new right now with my EINs from revocable trust filing?
Say that one
When you
more
say,
time.
yeah,
Huh?
again. Say it again.
Say again.
What happened is I was homeless for 10 years. Had an old address where I last filed. I'm in a new home, it's been here since 2018, but they didn't have that information. So what I'm attempting to do is recoup. So I wasn't particularly clear where to start. Since I got my transcripts, I got them from 2024 through 2021, and they're all said no filing. So I'd like to know, should I start from the beginning where I have
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
the,
Gotcha.
the
Yeah, you're gonna
revocable?
have to start from the last time you filed.
Okay, that's almost 30 years ago.
Oh, okay. Usually it's not so long. Okay, so here's what they do. If you haven't filed in 7 years, they filed for you.
But it shows no filing. So how do I figure out what's on those transcripts?
Well, it's no filings that you submitted.
Okay, how do I find what should I ask for in terms of records?
Well, I mean, you already have your record of transcripts. So go back 7 years and start working on your filings.
Okay.
Yeah, if they have an issue with it, they will tell you.
All right. I also signed up for a treasury account and was also able to acquire my revocable EIN number. So I'm moving ahead slowly, but I've got to be able to decipher the information that I'm hearing in the room, and that can be challenging. But I thank you for your help. And Stephen, you're in California, correct?
No, other coast.
Oh, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, I confused you with
James.
Okay. All right. I thank you so much. And the last question is Kim no longer involved with this group or what? I heard something early.
I was
Correct.
saying that she's decided to step away. She's no longer part of the leadership team. That was by her choice. And but she's still a member of Recoupers. No one has removed her or anything like that. So, but she's no longer part of the leadership team.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That was her choice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But we thank her for all that she's done. But she has contributed so much to the group, and so we thank her for that, and we wish her the
Okay.
best.
Is Mem still in the game, Maine?
You have to reach out
Yeah,
to her.
she's still here. Like
Okay.
the plethora of information and knowledge she has given us, it's in all the recordings, the documentation. So her knowledge is here. There's hundreds of hours of information.
Okay. Well, thanks again. God bless you all. I release the mic.
God bless you. Thank you for coming up.
I have a question for Stephen.
Okay.
I think it's AIKO, AIKO. She was mentioning something about credit, and I was wondering, under her circumstances as far as bankruptcy, um, is that possible that you can go back and refer or rescind if there was some past bankruptcies and do a rescind, or basically provide a declaration or executive letter in order to refurbish, meaning that the bankruptcy can, as far as the signature, cannot not be a shortcut to rescind that signature and rescind that contract because of the non-disclosures, and come back and do the claims of credit?
You can. You are talking about a very advanced strategy. It's actually not the executor, it's the trustee. And then you're talking about rescinding contracts due to reversionary interest. But that's a very advanced trustee technique. Yeah. And part of that one also is you have to not only initiate it as a trustee, but you submit a whistleblower notification to the IRS to alert them of potential fraud. So for anyone who's just starting to learn about trustees and stuff, I would not even recommend it, because you need to know exactly what you're doing, because you will need to stand on your authority, and you're probably going to be telling judges and air quote creditors where they can shove it, but very nicely. But you would have to be able to stand on your square, those four corners that identify your laws, statutes, and authorities.
Right. And that takes it into the federal level, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope. It doesn't even go there.
Okay.
Trust law is above that.
Right. Oh, I don't know how I knew that, but I guess it's in my brains. And you're saying that's advanced. That's a good thing, but as you say, I understand you have to know.
Yeah. You have to know. There are no shortcuts when you're at that game level at all.
That's kind of good, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, depending on how you look at it, right? I won't say there's no shortcuts, because that is the ultimate shortcut, but it's, you're a master at that point. Like, the law, the statutes, the codes, how to craft all the documentation that you need to craft. So that's a huge foundation that's been built upon.
Appreciate it.
It's a good question. It gives people something to strive for, to know what you can do lawfully.
Right. Thank you.
I appreciate that too.
Absolutely. I mean, because anyone who's had any creditor come after them, specifically, great example, bankruptcy. Like, if it stemmed from a secured loan, like, say, a mortgage or an auto, 99 times out of 100, that was based off of fraud. So that's reversionary basis for a trustee to execute that tactic. But advanced. It's very advanced.
It not just only it was and I think that has something to do also when they go in and they garnish your wages and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but trustees can do that for their beneficiaries, any of their beneficiaries. They just have to know what they're doing. Good question.
Anybody have any final questions? Because I wanted to do kind of go over what we talked about in the beginning as well, the few little housekeeping rules. Lisa, were you going to say something, honey?
I do.
Oh,
Me?
Eliaster? No. I thought you were unmuted. You're okay, honey. Eliaster, I know you had a question. Go ahead and unmute.
Thank you very much. Greetings and thank you for your sharing here. That last question, I think is a great segue kind of to my questions. I thought I was going to ask a more rudimentary question, but I then realized that you kind of referred to my situation as the kind of advanced level, because I have expressed my straw man as a trust, and I identified it as a probated decedent, while I came in as the sovereign, the man of God, as a state citizen, as the claimant of life and name. Really claimant of life and appellation. I didn't call it a name, because from my learning, names are for things, and I wanted to avoid those traps a little bit the best I could. And then, of course, this decedent is the number for the estate EIN. And then I have made the estate as a disregarded foreign entity. I think it's the classification, the 8832F, to my foreign grantor trust. And I am the trustee, the main trustee of the foreign grantor trust, but the strawman is a separate express trust where I made the trustees of this strawman trust the Secretary of the Treasury, federal level, the President, the Secretary of the State, as well as the Governor of the state. Those are the 4 trustees I made. And so kind of that is how I organized my entities to document the trail of interest and agency in regards to the registered agent for the Social Security person. I specified myself as an agent of record. When I submitted the statement of interest for this trust to the to those previously said trustees, I also submitted a trust indenture, and in that indenture, I defined their roles, and I also took a specific power of attorney from them to act on their behalf in regards to trust matters when they fail to act. Is there any clarifications or things you would like to say about this? My understanding, is my contemplation of such a strategy kind of well placed in your opinion? Thank you.
That's a good question. That's very complicated construction you got there. I just have one clarification on it. So for your strawman express trust that you created, when you say that the people you identified were the roles that you identified, are you talking about the actual individuals that live in America? You made those, or those are roles that you assigned?
Uh, for the trustees of the Social Security person now expressed as trust, are you referring to that trust?
Yes.
So basically, yeah, these are kind of like the nuances that are always kind of plaguing my mind when I'm moving forward as well. So basically what I tend to do is, is to give them man-to-man notice, yet I give them this notice in their personal and official capacities when they're acting in their official capacities. That's how I kind of done it.
Okay. Haven't heard that explained in that manner for that particular structure, but I have concerns that they will act in your best interest, but that's just me. It might work out great. Um, since those individuals do those particular roles by themselves, because they have positions in the government, I just don't know if they'll act in your highest and best interest.
Right. So the only and that concern should be there in my understanding as well for everybody who's trying to do this similar thing. Our best kind of security blanket in assuring that is writing a good kind of uh, trust indenture agreement, because by their acquiescence and acceptance of various items of interest, the trust is gradually more and more documented by performance, by operation of law, by acquiescence, and so on and so forth. And my effort to ensure that they, as the registered agents, were going to act in the best interest was to create a very kind of clear trust indenture. And if they basically breach trust, then I could further create a paper trail and evidence and records to then bring it into maybe, I don't know, federal court of claims or something to that effect, some kind of like chancery court to then restitution for claims of damages.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's always a potential avenue to go down. So
I think it's a bigger
very
question
novel.
that we can't really answer, Stephen.
Right. It's a very novel approach to it.
But so
I look forward
when
to
you,
hearing about it.
well, thank you. I actually am at the kind of, I'm approaching them with the next steps of the process, and yeah, it has developed to a certain moment right now. But when you talk about the non-decedent, then like who do you exactly refer to as the non-decedent? Like, how do you see the Social
You are the
Security person?
non-decedent. You're over the age of 18. You're the age of majority. You're the
Right.
non-decedent, and you're not dead. You're alive.
Right. So that is just to bifurcate myself from the Social Security person, essentially.
Correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because in order to, be a competent individual, you must not be a dead entity with a label created by someone before you could speak or think. So everyone is raised to believe you are this social card number. You were born with it. You got a tattoo. Go where we tell you. Do what we tell you. You're going to take what we pay you. A slave. Non-decedents are living flesh and blood. They were born without any social. They voluntarily entered into a contract. They're competent. They can think for themselves. In order to be declared a non-decedent, first you have to meet the requirements. That's you can think for yourself, make your own decisions, fill out your own paperwork. Responsible and accountable for your own individual actions.
Mm-hmm.
An adult. An adult.
And they talk about that also in the CYC process as well. So if you haven't looked at that guide, I would advise you to go look at that guide and give you at least it's a launching point. It's a starting point. It's not the answer to everything, but it's a starting point. So I would advise to go there. Now we're kind of running up on time, but I wanted to give Dawn, because she has had her hand up. Dawn Ketchum, can you? You said you had a question, sweetheart. Can you unmute? She'll be the last one. Dawn. Can you unmute, honey? Because I think you're unmuted. Let me just double check. Yeah, you're unmuted. You got to unmute yourself. Dawn, can you type your question? I don't know why I won't let you, honey, because it says you're unmuted. You just have to unmute yourself. You're unmuted from us, our perspective, but you have to unmute yourself. You want to type your question in the chat and I'll say it out loud?
And I thank you for the responses to my questions. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for being part of the community. In the meantime, while she's typing her question, just kind of want to do a recap of what we talked about in the beginning of the call, because I know a lot of you guys came on a little bit later on into the call. So couple things. We revamped the way that we're doing the study buddy groups. We are no longer affiliated with any current study buddy groups that were created from yesterday, that were existing yesterday till today. Today, we have 7 new study buddy groups based on region. We don't have 15 different ones, 20 different ones, one for each state and all of that. If you are a part of those groups, that's totally separate. That is not going to be affiliated with RECOUPERS. And those leaders, I'm asking those leaders to reach out to me and send me a DM. I'm giving you permission to send me a DM because I do want to host a leadership team meeting for those that are part of the study buddy group, and we can do it during the week. So let me know, send me a message if you are a leader inside of those other state groups, so I can make sure that you become a part of the region groups. We have one for Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, Southeast, Midwest, International. So we only have like 7 of them. And we have one for West region, Midwest, I think I said already. So those are the only groups that are affiliated with groups. I deleted all the other links out of the main Recoupers group, out of the affiliated links. So they're no longer there. So they are not affiliated with Recoupers, just so you know.
And even further, just for everyone who wants to join these groups, I'm affiliated with over half of all the state groups that were created. Mm-hmm. So if you join a region group, I can see if you were in a state group, and I will question you if you join something that's on the other side of the country.
Yes,
because these groups are meant for their specific regions, so that that specific group of individuals can find local, in-person study buddies, right? Because I'm guaranteed a lot of people around all of us have no idea or outright reject every single thing we're talking about here. So finding like-minded individuals is very rare. So if someone can find it locally, awesome. That's exactly what the groups are for. We had to take it under management because some admins just disappear and the group dies. We don't like that because we want to make sure everyone has a nice community where we can support each other. But if you're joining all across the country, it makes no sense and you're highly suspicious and you might get removed. So please be considerate.
And that's why we did the regions. For example, Southeast region, that composes of Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Puerto Rico, United States region, islands, and Virginia. That's plenty of people to be in one area that you can find somebody. Dawn, are you unmuted, honey? Because
yeah, I figured it out.
Okay, go ahead, honey. Let me let you go ahead.
I went out and came back in.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I did the 1040 ES and 1040V process, and I did it like back in November, so I just thought it didn't work. Well, recently I looked and I have a $250,000 refund waiting for me, and I got a letter, saying, hey, did you file this? If you did, you need to call us so we can verify. We have some questions. So I'm sure it's going to be like, oh, we can't see those payments. Where did they come from? And I just heard someone earlier say you should do an OID. So I'm terrified to do an OID on money from thin air, but I mean, I get the whole concept. I guess my question is, if I do an OID, would I be the payer? And then I've seen people do OIDs where they are the payer and the recipient.
Correct.
And if I'm not both, I am both?
Yes.
So should we do 2 OIDs?
Hello?
Or should we do one?
It's one.
It's one OID with you.
Well, I mean, I think you just do one, but you put, right. And then I put that in federal income tax withheld. Is that what I'm putting in on box 4? The 250?
Yes.
Well, the 250 box 4 is federal tax withheld line. Is that what you're talking about?
Right, but isn't that where it's supposed to go? If I'm paying myself? Yep.
Yeah, because that amount, the amount that you put in the amount that is entered into the federal tax withheld will represent no more than 24% of the value of the OID, which is categorized in box 1, and in tax exempt interest, which I believe is box, was that 12 or 10?
Yeah, 11.
11. Okay, I was on both sides of that one. Yeah, so federal withheld amount is 24% of the total. So in order to figure out what that number is supposed to be for 1 and 11, You divide that by maximum of 24%.
Or do you multiply it? Take 250,000, multiply by 24%, and then put that in box 1, and then put the 24%
No, it's
in
divide.
box.
Divide.
Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, divide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, divide. I mean, you'll know. I mean, you can try multiplication, but you'll know instantly as soon as you get that equals.
Okay. Hey, and just so everyone knows, the 1040X, if anyone's done that, it does work. I did my husband's taxes, and we got 12,000 some odd dollars back for 2023. No, wait. Was it 2020? 2023, yeah. And so now I've done 2022 and 2024, and we have a $28,000 refund coming from 2022 and one from 14,000 coming from 2024. And so it works, but the problem is you can never get through the line because like we on the $28,000 one, he called and verified his identity, and she said, "Okay, well, you'll get the refund in 9 weeks." Well, it's probably been 16 weeks, and we keep trying to call, and we can never get through to anyone. So, and then on the 2024, they said that they're sending a letter out, and it could take up to 3 weeks to get the letter. So I'm just letting everyone know, hang in there. But the hardest part is just to get someone on the phone because he's already verified, that who he is, and now it's reversed back to action needed on the internet. So,
yeah, it sounds like in that case, and this goes for everyone, especially if they say, "Oh, it should take us like 8 weeks," and you're looking at 16 weeks so far. It sounds like the trustee who has you in their trust as the beneficiary needs to step up their fiduciary game, because that's what a trustee does.
Okay.
And
So
here's why I say that.
Write a letter? I already did an 884 or 843 form, no results. I did a 99 or a 911 form, no results. Nobody's
Yeah, but
called
that's
or
you
anything.
as an individual who is a member of the group that they control. Trustee is
gotcha.
a senior fiduciary. If the IRS made changes to the beneficiary's tax form without getting authorization from the trustee, they violated the law.
Oh,
You got to
okay. I
stand
get
on
where
your
you're coming
square.
from.
Right. Trustee and the foundations to get there are pertinent and essential for survival.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So if the IRS is, yanking on your chain, leading you, "Oh no, go this way. Oh no, go that way." Trustee needs to step in and say, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you modifying stuff
Right.
without my authorization? You violated the law. You're going to make these changes. ... There's a lot of documentation. I got a packet sitting on my desk right here for that exact same thing. It's about 30 pages long.
All right. I get what you're saying. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And this goes not just to you, to everyone right now, right here, coming down the line later, listens to a video. Someone's going to ask a question about it. This has been said the whole time. Paperwork, paperwork, paperwork.
We're getting ready to go there.
So you build up your education, collect your receipts, and then the trustee handles the matter. Now you can't do stuff that's illegal, right? Can't do that. But the amount of authority the trustee wields is unbelievable. And there's a great reason why it's never been taught to the common folk. You just got to get to that point so you can do it.
Can I ask some more questions?
No,
Just
Lisa, we need to get up. I need to get up out of here. So, yeah, I need to go.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
You
I'm
can post it in
sorry.
the chat.
All right.
You can
Thanks.
post it in the chat. I'm
Okay,
gonna
I'll
leave it
do
open
that.
for a few
Thank
more
you.
minutes. But I just want, let me reiterate about what we talked about at the top of the hour, or the top of the beginning of the call at 1:00. It's 3:12 right now. Thank you guys for all attending today's live call. We're only going to be on here every other week. So there is no class next week. There is no call, not class, sorry. Retract it. There's no call next Saturday. It's going to be every other week. So today we had a call. Next week we do not. The following week after that we do. So in 2 weeks, we will have a call. Just so you guys know. Then the other thing that I reiterated, that we are no longer affiliated with any of the study buddy groups that were created, that were in existence from yesterday behind us and older. I created new region groups. If I missed your state, like Delaware, I didn't include that. That's in the New York one. That's in the one with New York, which is Northeast region. I forgot to add Delaware in there. So that was my mistake, my typo. So please DM me. Let me know if you're can't find your state, but we have 7 groups, 7 of them: Northeast, Southwest, Midwest, West region, Southeast, Northwest, and International. Those are the only groups that are affiliated with the RECOUPERS movement, which is the one that has the over 9,000 members. Any other group that has RECOUPERS in the name, that is not us. And if they are in those older groups, ask the leaders. You can, please, I'm asking you guys to go into those groups and ask leaders to DM Dr. Heather. Please DM me and let me know so I can get it, because I do want to do a call with all those leaders so they can be aware, because not everybody's on the Saturday call. And so they're going to be like, what's going on, and not being aware. Just tell them, go to Dr. Heather. She can explain it and how they started a new region. So you guys help me out. You guys are part of the community. I'm looking for you guys to spread the word to those groups and tell them that they need to come see me. And yes, Shakol, I think that's your name. I am in Georgia. You guys need to go to those region groups, because that's going forward, starting from today. Those are the only study buddy groups that's going to be affiliated with us. Also, the announcement that I made at a little bit after 1 o'clock was that Kim Marie has decided to step away from the leadership team. She is still a member of the RECOUPERS because we have not removed her. If she has decided to step away from the leadership team, and we honor, respect her, and bless her for all that she has done and contributed to the leadership team and to the community as a whole. And when she was an administrator, she's no longer an administrator of RECOUPERS by her own choice. Okay, we wish her the best and all of that. And we just want to make sure that we are clear about that. If you have any questions about the ESNVs, I will send her a message directly, because I cannot answer that for you. And plus, there's plenty of videos and audio inside of the group that you can go and find your answers and look inside the chat as well. We're not deleting any of her information. All of her information and all her nuggets are going to be here for you guys to go and seek out and find. She's just no longer going to be a teacher and give classes and all of that. As far as RECOUPERS is concerned, because that was based on her choice. So we love her. We wish her the best. And we're just going to keep continuing to move on with the community. And we're only going to have, so what are my announcements? We're only going to have this live session every other Saturday. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back. The other part is we have new study buddy groups. So go find your study buddy group, and it's going to be in regions, meaning that you don't have to join 15 different groups and try to keep up with that. There's only 7 groups. And I don't need everybody joining 7 groups. I need you to join the region that's specific to where you reside. Because Stephen Palmer is going to go through the groups, those 7 groups. And if you are in all 7 groups, he's going to remove you. You need to be, because those regions comprise of multiple states in one place. And you should be able to find somebody you can connect with to study with. And then the final thing is, I want you guys to have an amazing and phenomenal week. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. You guys got this, and that we're gonna do amazing things together. Continue to do amazing things together, and we appreciate you for being a part of this call today. Okay, you guys go and have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. God bless.